Hi all, so I'm back out in the garage again. I've been doing quite a lot of work on the wiring loom on my car. My Busa uses the original, it's a Gen 1 99 and uses the original ECU with a Power Commander 5 piggybacked on the back. When I originally did the loom, I was expecting to use the original clocks and much of the wiring for the indicators and stuff. As it happens, there wasn't room for the clock, so I've used a different set of clocks, and I basically found it easier running a new loom for the indicators. But being a bit, I wouldn't say lazy, but being a bit ADHD probably, not a bit ADHD, I am ADHD, probably because of that, I headlong rush into stuff, and I don't like tidying up loose ends, which meant I left all the additional loom that wasn't then needed on the car. So the last few weeks I've decided to tidy it all up. Got a new fuse box in there. Obviously that's not tidy yet. But I've also removed a lot of the unnecessary wiring. And until I started taking it out, I hadn't really realised how much. So this pile here is some of the wiring that I've pulled out that basically it wasn't really doing anything. But with the HayaBusa ECU, there are several sort of safety interlocks, as when it's on a bike, to stop you riding off with things like the side stand down or starting the engine up when it's in gear and the clutch is out and all this sort of stuff. It's all very handy stuff, but obviously when it's in a car, completely unnecessary. Somewhere in that loom I had all the connectors sorted, or connections sorted, and bits and bobs, so as it still started and ran. I thought I'd noted down what they all were, but yet again, in the normal old thing, I hadn't noted it down. So to make sure I've noted it down this time, this is a video about what the wiring modifications you need to make for a Gen 1 Busa for it to run in a car or a bike if for some unbeknown reason you decide that you don't want to have the safety thing. Oh, I need it bloody cold out in the garage. I don't know if you can see me, got dragon's breath. Anyway, so most of this video will be back upstairs in the office because I've drawn out some little sort of circuit diagram basic stuff to video so as I can see myself if the loom ever changes, what I need to do, and hopefully it'll be useful to anyone, because despite being an electronic engineer, I spent bloody ages finding some of this stuff. The Haynes manual does not show every safety interlock or how to overcome it. And I couldn't, using good old Google, I couldn't find a straightforward list that basically is what I'm going to make here, of this is what you need to do. It's strange why, maybe I missed it, maybe I was Googling the wrong things. Anyway, I couldn't find it, so hopefully this video will be helpful to anyone and save them the hours of pulling my hair out that I've had just lately. As my wiring diagram in my Haynes manual has become an absolute illegible mess, I thought I'd just draw these out separately to make it a bit simpler. So the first one is where the clutch switch was. Basically the clutch switch earths down the black and yellow wire. But reading online, it seems the obvious way of doing it is just permanently shorting it. Reading online, there's lots of theories that the line, the black and yellow line going into the ECU, if that's earthed, it puts you into some kind of neutral kind of map. What I found is it seems to start perfectly fine with that disconnected. So I have my black and yellow just through the starter relay and then onto the starter switch. That seems to be okay. Obviously I can't get the maps or anything off of the ECU, so I can't be completely sure, but it seems to be okay. Then we've got the ignition switch. Evidently the orange yellow wire on the ignition switch, when I look at the kind of, where are we, on the Haynes book, it just shows it as being earthed. what I've actually found is it goes to 150 ohm resistor. It would seem that that's a way of stopping people hot wiring the bike. So you'd have to, if you were trying to nick a HayaBusa by hot wiring, you'd have to carry 150 ohm resistor around with you. So it's orange yellow, 150 ohm onto the blue black white, which is the earth everywhere. Then the tip over switch or tip over sensor, again you need to take the wire down via a resistor. In the Haynes manual it says 60 to 64k, so I put in a 62k resistor to be plumb in the middle. Side stand switch and the neutral indicator from the gear selector switch are all kind of tied together. I'm not completely sure if this is even necessary to do this. Basically, in the manual you can see what was there's like a relay and a diode little box, which is for the indicators and the neutral and the side stand. So obviously I don't have indicators. I've taken this box out entirely from my bike, from my car. But this has diodes in there. I'm not entirely sure what they're all doing, but I thought basically the best thing to do was to copy that and put that into the car. So got the black and white via a diode to the green. The green was the side stand switch. That then goes another diode to blue, which comes off the gear position sensor, which also feeds the ECU. And then as you can see there, it goes via another diode onto the blue-black wire, which I use for the neutral light on my dash. Again, seems to work. This may not be needed at all, I really don't know, but after reading all the bits about the clutch switch and going into neutral maps and all this sort of thing, and it reducing the red line, I thought it's sensible just to basically copy the electronics inside there, and there's another diode inside the side stand switch. Basically just copy the electronics. These diodes are like pennies each. Seem to be a sensible way of going, and the car is now starting and running okay, so I think we're okay. Hopefully that little lot will be helpful to anyone who is using a standard ECU and want to get rid of any of these switches, either in a bike or in a car fit. And hopefully it would be helpful to future me if I end up in the pickle I was the other day of having already solved all this stuff once, not writing any of it down, and having to solve it all over again. Thanks for watching the video. As usual, like and subscribe please. It helps my ego, but most of all it helps the channel get going. I want to get up to 1,000 likes, because then I get a few pence of the advertising revenue, which will help me hugely. Thanks then, bye. Hi, thanks for getting to the end of the video. If you're not already subscribed, please do so now. Just hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell button, and that way YouTube will tell you when there's any new videos. We've got some big plans ahead for the channel, including possibly a car build from scratch. So if you want to get involved with that, now's the time to subscribe. Cheers then, bye.